Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're going to be talking about companions and which ones are going to be the best for Alliance Omega War. We're in our first weekend of beta, getting to see a lot of the different zone stuffs. We're going to look at a little bit of a battle, talk about the companions, why we think certain ones might fit a little bit better here than you might have been using in different game modes. And yeah, just basically discuss it. If you think that I've missed a point in anything or that maybe I've overemphasized something, please comment below or check out the Discord in the link below. That's the best way to sort of chat about these different things, discuss, etc. Of course, if you're interested in seeing future Marvel Future Revolution videos, feel free to hammer that like button, subscribe, notification bell, all that sort of thing. All right, so let's check out what we think about which companions are the best in Marvel Future Revolution's Alliance Omega War.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so we had our beta this past weekend, and you can see in the background here kind of what's going on a little bit. I'm just going to let this thing sort of play as I discuss it so that you can see. So right now, the thing that you're kind of seeing is there's a lot of people in a small space. In regular Omega War, there's a much bigger arena with a lot of wide open space. And this one, because you've got this central pillar, it kind of creates a sort of like circular pathway for people to focus their time at, or it really kind of like funnels the battles to these spots. Certainly you can have a battle at the top of the center pillar. You can have battles up along the edges, but a lot of what I'm currently seeing, and maybe this changes over the course of time, but you're going to see a lot of people sort of sitting in this area, fighting in these areas, fighting in areas where you're going to find crystals, because those crystals come all the time, and you definitely want to pick those up as much as you can and then fight over them. So what this leads us to is what sort of companion is going to help you in a smaller space. A lot of times you're going to want, in maybe different game modes, you're just like, I just need to make sure that my companion hits the other person. We heard in dimensional duels, people saying, well, I don't want to use character A or B or companion A or B because they're easily dodgeable. You know, if somebody drops them, you can easily run to the other side and just let them finish doing whatever they're doing and then fight. Icarus is pretty good in that game mode because, you know, he kind of tracks you down a little bit and it's, you know, sort of heat seeker, single targety. But in this game mode, what I'm going to look for is a lot of AoE potential, you know, things with, this is already so, I'll use the word chaotic, but as you get used to it, you'll definitely realize that it's not super chaotic. You're seeing a lot of different things go down. So it's kind of like, okay, perfect. But what I'm seeing is opportunity for people to not see a lot of companions coming. So what of the companions basically have something that can really cripple the opponent? That's what you're going to be looking for. The biggest thing that can cripple the most people in a small consolidated area, and you're going to want to properly time those uses, right? So Athena's a great buffer. She's awesome, and it's going to boost you up for attacking. So there's no doubt about it that she's going to be, you know, one of the top ones here. So as I'm looking at this, I've got, you know, I made a list of 6 right now, and I might have missed some because I was kind of like, the one that I definitely left off was Fury and War Machine. Fury in particular, I haven't unlocked War Machine yet, so I don't have direct experience with them. But I know for Fury, it's nice that you've got that bubble, which could work here. You know, if you're getting guard broke a lot, I could see Fury, and he's not on this list right now, but I could see Fury kind of move up on this list as a character that's like, or a companion that's like, yeah, I want him there because he does some damage. He's going to keep people from being guard broke in a small area. So he might become more valuable. The other part of what you're seeing in Alliance War is, and just like it was with Omega, regular Omega War, is you want to make sure you can hold on your points late. So you want things that can make you survive. You want defense ups. You want barriers. And what I like, and I use a lot in PvP, is Ultron. His barrier can definitely give you some ability to not die, especially if it's sort of late in the fight. You want to do something where it's kind of like, all right, I just need to survive this. So maybe an Ultron is good if you're timing it right towards the end. I have him at the bottom of the list because that is sort of like a, well, you know, it'll help you survive a little bit, but is it going to do something that's going to be a long-term effect throughout throughout a match? The one next to Ultron that I've got is Cersei. I like her defense down if companioned with Athena. Again, she does a little damage too, Cersei that is, but you drop it a certain area, maybe use Athena at the same time, and you can get your team actually offensed up and hitting into a defense down. Those are sort of killers for anything in these game modes where it's all of a sudden like, okay, great. And then right there, you know, you see a bunch of stuff flying around. There's Cersei right there, right on cue. So it's kind of like, all right, you know, that's the type of thing, damage, defense down. So I like her in sort of that fifth spot. The fourth spot that I'm looking at is Vision. Now, he could be higher, frankly. I'll be straight up with you. He could be higher. So he does such a big damage reducing area that maybe I could put him at 3. And he also does an attack, which I'm kind of like, that's pretty solid. I like where it's kind of coming, but the defense down, I mean, maybe you could do all 3 of that wombo where it's Cersei, Vision, and Athena. Yeah, that wombo, if you drop all 3 of them good down where it's like, you know, we are sitting here just, you can't kill us, but we are definitely killing you. So I would recommend, I mean, those 3 are sort of in a batch there in my mind, you know, a little bit above Ultron, below what I'm going to look as the top 2. And it will be a critical sort of timing of that. And, you know, could you argue that maybe one's better than the other? I guess so. I mean, time will certainly tell. If this becomes a glass cannon mode, okay, yeah, then Athena all day long, right? It will be. It's going to be Athena. But I have to think that the way it's going to play out won't be pure pew pew and shooting everybody and making sure that you do whatever you can to just kill somebody. I think that it's going to be important to actually buff your team. It's going to be important to make sure that you're defending yourself a little bit better so that when you're in there, you're surviving. So that I think is going to be critical with Vision. Everybody loves Vision. I love dropping them in Omega Wars. I love coordinating that. I love using them even in Dark Zone. He's great. So number 3 on the list is obviously Athena. You know, with Vision and 4 and Cersei at 5. You know, again, the wombo is pretty solid, but I like Athena at that 3 spot because right now the game seems to be very pew, 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 pew. And that reward, you get everything from reward that, right? That's just the way it is. You do more damage, you get more crystals, you get more points. The more points you get, the more rewards you get. That's just what it is. So right now, what I do like about this game mode is it's about winning and it's about just getting some contribution. So that's it. Like, yeah, you get some more points for your contribution, but you're not ranked in an Alliance Omega War. I would like to see Alliances ranked in that, but right now they don't necessarily have that. So we're good with that, but I still like the Athena pew pew because frankly, a lot of the game is pew 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 and most people are built for that. So it will help that. Coming in at number 2, and these top 2 are really about what I talked about earlier, where it's really purely about sort of that concept of, you know, it's a tight space. There's a lot of, you know, people who aren't going to be able to dodge these things. And I'm a little bit torn about which one of these I'd put 1 and 2. So maybe it's a 1A, 1B. But in technically the number 2 spot, I have Gilgamesh. The reason for that is because if you can use him, again, of course, a lot of these come with properly timed. But as you can see, in this tight little space, if you can drop a Gilgamesh there, he will do a group stun and basically negate the other team for a second, and you can just, and your alliance mates just go nuts attacking. So I really like a Gilgamesh. I think that the after attack, whatever, that's fine. I'm not really looking at that for being, you know, much of an impact. But the stun, man, I could see that turning a battle. Definitely save that for the last minute for a couple uses. I mean, I could see it where it would just, it could absolutely just impact that match. I mean, you stun everybody, right? So anyway, so coming in at number 1 is Yondu. Reason being, and you might have seen it at one point in the match, but again, because it's such a small little spot, people can't necessarily get out of the way of that. And if they can't dodge or actively dodge, that is huge in PvP. That means they're not invincible. They're going to take damage. And that Yaka arrow is going to be flying around and you're not going to be able to run away. I mean, or maybe you see it, maybe you don't, but like, there's going to be a lot of situations where you just straight up don't see it. So right now, I'm seeing Yondu and Gilgamesh as being sort of the best companions in here. Now, if again, best Wombo, and maybe this is where you want to go and where strategy comes into play, is get your group of, to have at least, I'd have 2 sets of the Wombo. So that's 6 of your players. I'd have at least 2 sets of these top stuns and the dodges. So that way you can sort of hit 2, right? So, and that's 4. So you got 10. And then your other 5 can, maybe it brings, 2 of them have Cersei. And then the other 3, maybe you have Ultron on them, right? And with that, they'll be able to defend themselves and live a little longer and, do different things. I want to say too many strategies out there, but that's sort of my thoughts with it. I think those for sure companions are likely going to be your best ones. Anybody else on there? Am I forgetting anybody? Again, I mentioned Fury, War Machine. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I guess some damage and the knockdown, it could kind of be nice. I don't know, but I don't have personal experience with him. A lot of times when you're looking at the rares, I don't know. I mean, the Kaya gives you some defense. Scrag, I guess there's going to be some shockwaves with some damage. Okay, that's not bad, I guess. But again, Icarus I mentioned earlier, but I believe that's just a single target. So it's kind of like, all right, I don't really love that for a group session. Volstagg, he's gonna, some HP recovery. Nobody cares about that. Ursi, some attack. It's again not that big of a deal. And then the last one was Donna Ports, where there's some damage while active, and again that's individual. So I think that's where we're at with the top. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Let me know if I'm missing a point. Let me know if you disagree with what I'm saying. If you want to share some of your strategies or thought for this, love to hear it. I really definitely like brainstorming, as I mentioned before. Put those comments below, and or come over to the Discord, check that out. It's the best way to follow along, communicate, that sort of thing. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, and subscribe if you like. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.